Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Rhino Rescue 1 to 2 day, one person first aid kit. It's a waterproof kit. I got this off of Temu. I ordered one and got one free, so I ended up with a total of 2 kits. It is currently sold out on their website, which will be linked below. Hopefully you guys can grab yourselves one when it's back in stock, or you can go over to Temu and see if you can find it there. So let's jump into it. So looking at the bag, it's a good quality bag. It is waterproof. It's got a really nice zipper on it, really nice and strong. And it does zip, let's see if we can get there, zips all the way to the end. So it does make it waterproof. See there, no gap. It also has a nice carabiner on it, so you can attach it to the outside of a pack. Me personally, I would just throw this in my pack or in my pocket and just walk with it in my pocket. That way it's on me in case if I need it. Other than that, yeah, it's a really nice bag. Let's break into it. So right off the bat, looks like we've got a pair of plastic tweezers. Those come in handy, obviously, for all sorts of uses. Not the greatest pair, but they'll work in a pinch. Honestly, I probably would just switch these out at some point if I was able to. Then we've got some medical tape, it looks like. Good to have, good amount. 500 centimeters, it looks like. So that's good. Then we've got a mouth-to-mouth mask. That's also a good thing to have, just in case. Want to make sure that we're being safe. Tourniquet, or a cheap knockoff of a tourniquet. This is probably another one of those items where I know in my kit somewhere I actually have a tourniquet, but this is good just as an emergency backup, just in case. I wouldn't have my life depend on this, but in an emergency, it'll do. Let's see, we got a pair of scissors here. Look like to be just a basic pair, nothing crazy. Again, multiple uses for a pair of scissors. Okay quality. They don't seem to bend too much. So I honestly would probably swap these out as well. Let's see, then we have a first aid manual. Not bad. What to do: burns, scald, stings, cuts, scrapes, bleeding. Sunstroke comes in handy in Arizona. Emergency numbers list depending on where you live. Sunburn, heat exhaustion. So yeah, just some good information. Then we've got looks like a 20 count of cotton swabs. Good for applying, especially like burn gel and things like that you don't necessarily want to touch the wound. This comes in handy with the antibiotic ointment as well. Pair of gloves. Safety first. Remember, if it's wet and not yours, don't touch it. That's the way it was always taught to me for bloodborne pathogens. If it's wet, sticky, and not yours, don't touch it. Gloves help with that. Let's see. Looks like we've got an emergency blanket, 160 by 210, pretty decently sized. Nothing, this won't necessarily make it seem like that you are bundled up with 7 layers. when it's cold out, but this will definitely help prevent hypothermia. Wound compress, a couple different sizes, larger size, a couple smaller sizes. Actually, I think there might be one more large size in here. There it is. So you get 2 large sizes, 2 mediums, or smaller, I guess, looking at them. They seem like they're pretty small compared to this one. What's this? Oh, we got some moleskin. Looks like it's already pre-cut. This will come in handy when you're walking, hiking, doing anything like that that might cause blisters. Again, very handy to have in a first aid kit. Not a lot of first aid kits come with moleskin, so the fact that this one does is pretty awesome. Let's see, then we got some alcohol prep pads. I think there's 10 of them if I'm not mistaken. So there's 10 alcohol prep pads, and there should be 10 BZKs. Yep, so 10 of those. Both are really good for prepping wounds. If I had to pick one, I would probably say I'd like to have more of the BZKs in here other than the alcohol pads. Alcohol pads for me are great, but at the end of the day, I prefer BZKs. Then we've got some burn gel, 2 of them. Doesn't feel like there's a whole lot in there, honestly, but probably enough for a small burn. This probably isn't going to fix like a large scale burn, but this will help if you're like out camping and you burn yourself on the camp stove. This will probably be a good thing to have. Then we've got this. This is just like one of those little survival cards. I'm sure everybody's seen one of these at some point. Honestly, for me, I would probably take this out. I don't see the point in these. They're not really good for much other than being like a paperweight. The knives are always dull. You're not going to do much with this saw. So yeah, this is probably going to come out, honestly. Then we've got an emergency whistle, nothing fancy, but it does work. And it's relatively loud. It'll definitely get somebody's attention. Safety pins. Looks like there's about 10 or 12 safety pins. So many uses for this, not just first aid uses, but you can use it for your gear. You can use it for, you can use safety pins for anything. The only thing that I'm slightly confused by is that there's no triangular bandage in this first aid kit yet. So it's the only thing that's kind of lacking with the safety pins, in my opinion. Typically, you'd use the safety pin with a triangular bandage in some way. It's like we've got a roll of elastic bandage. Good to have wrapping wounds. You almost could use this in the same fashion as a triangular bandage if you needed to. So good to have. And then the last little bit that's in the bag, see the bag is now empty. The last little bit in the bag is going to be what they call the wound plasters or Band-Aids. So it looks like we've got 6 knuckle Band-Aids, 6 fingertip, 20 regular Band-Aids, 20 smaller Band-Aids, and 2 large Band-Aids. Larger Band-Aids, regular size. So pretty good. That's quite a bit. That's a lot of Band-Aids for this kit. Given the size of the kit, that's a lot of Band-Aids. So there's everything that was in the Rhino Rescue kit. Like I said, this was a Temu find, so awesome. I think I paid $10 on Temu for it. Like I said, I got one free. So I paid $9 for 2 of these kits. And I think on the Rhino Rescue website, they are $20. In my opinion, regardless if you're paying $9 on Temu or $20 on Rhino Rescue, I think either way, this kit is worth the price for what you get. Alone with the Band-Aids and the moleskin, I think this kit kind of pays for itself in the aspect of carrying it in a kit. This will go in a ruck, this will go in a bag, go in your pocket, and you have it when you need it for the small things. Obviously you would carry an IFAK for much larger trauma issues, but for what this kit is designed for, this is a pretty good layout. Next video, we'll be talking about the everyday sling bag that I carry. That video will be out soon. Remember to like and subscribe. Carry what works, leave what doesn't. See you in the next one.